Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Whew, it's already hot. What are you all doing in the garden this morning? It is 9ish. I've been up since 5ish and in the garden since 6ish. And I think I'm tired. I think I'm done for the day. I just made myself a cup of coffee and I'm going to sit here for a second, take a look at some of the stuff I've done, and I'm going to go in the house because I can't do any more. I have many more projects left to do. I really need to figure out why my irrigation, I've got two zones back here that are not flowing. A lot of the emitters are not flowing the way they need to. I've already unearthed a good portion of it. There's one section behind in front of the shed. I need to move that watering can in order to see if that line is crimped. I've unearthed the line in the back of the garden, and I've got one area back there that the I can't think of what it's called. It's a it's a you've got your main line, and you have your tubes that flow out of that main line and into your containers, and you have emitters on there. But there's a little bitty joining. I can't think of what it's called right now, y'all. This my brain. I'm tired. But anyway, you connect that to your main line. That little bitty joining piece. I can't think of what it's called. It's snapped off. So I've got one line that's flowing water back there. Other than that, there really isn't any reason why the zones are not working the way they should. The water is on full steam. I did nothing different than I do any other year. I shut it down for the year. I opened the line out and bleed it. I put the timer and the splitter in the house and leave everything in place. But for this season, for some reason, the emitters are not working. I think it could be I need to replace those emitters. Um, and if that's the case, that's going to make for a long day. And I can't do it today because I'm achy. So let me watch this bird. I've already interrupted the hummingbird this morning. I feel really bad about it. It was trying to feed off of the scarlet sage, and I was watering over there, and it literally stopped and looked at me like, "What are you doing? You're in my way." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Let me move." And then it flew off, and it kind of like doubled back, like, "Are you still there?" I'm like, "I'm sorry," and it hasn't come back. So I said, "You know what? Let me get out of their way. Let me sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk to y'all." So I'll be back, and I'll show you what I've been doing in the garden this morning. Before I get up and sip and walk, because I'm going to continue to sip on my coffee, y'all. But I wanted to show y'all that. You see that yellow flower up there? That is loofah. And when it first started growing, it's growing out of the pot. Let me show y'all. It's growing out of that pot right there. And it began to grow some time ago. And it had very tiny little yellow flowers on it. That's how I knew it hadn't reached the soil yet. What I mean by soil is the earth outside of that container. That container has holes in the bottom. When I bought those containers so many years ago, my spouse put holes in the bottom of that, and I didn't think about it when I put it on the ground. I didn't think anything of it. And last year, I grew bitter melon in that container, and that bitter melon just took over that end of the trellis. And when I realized that it had reached this particular loofah had reached the roots, reached the soil, the ground, the earth, the flowers began to get bigger. And when I take you guys over there, I'll show you. I do have loofah, and that loofah plant is now, of course, on the top of the cattle panel, but it's beginning to go down the opposite side. Now, on the opposite side, I have bitter melon. That is my new container over there that looks just like the one I just showed you, except it's black. That one does not have holes in the bottom. I put holes about 1 to 2 inches at the well up from the bottom, if that makes sense. I went from the bottom of the pot up 2 inches, inch and a half, and I drilled a hole. And so that is where the holes are in that container. That way I created a reservoir. That way, if that container needs water, it can have a little water in the bottom. The vast majority of my containers that I have created over the past several years have reservoirs. That way, the water is not draining out from the bottom consistently. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that. If you are, let me turn y'all around. If you're growing in a container garden and you all have seen my garden. If you have not seen my garden, um, please watch a few of my previous tour videos that show you my vastness of the garden. And I'm continuing to add containers. This morning I've got 2 containers that I've been working on. One of them is still sitting. I've drilled holes in them, I've rinsed them out. One of them still has some stuff in it that I need to get out, so I'm letting it sit with some water in it to loosen it up. But what I'm trying to get at is this. If you are growing in containers, you have to make sure that your water, when you water, is not just flowing out the bottom. Your nutrients are not just flowing out the bottom. And so what I did many years ago is I stopped putting holes in the bottom. Traditionally, when you go buy a pot, where are the holes? In the bottom. But when you live in a place like I live, where it is, yesterday the heat index was over 100. It was in the 90s here yesterday. And the minute you step outside, it feels like you are being attacked by the heat. It is relentless and you begin to sweat just no matter what you do. You just walk outside and you start glistening. Y'all can see I'm glistening right now. I've been outside for several hours watering and the sun just started coming out. It appeared it was going to start raining again because it was raining yesterday just a little bit, and the sky over here was turning gray and black like it was going to start raining again, but I guess not, or maybe later. So the sun is now up and I'm glistening. And so when you live in the area, I'm in zone 9A, just in case you don't know. It used to be 8B, and I live in South Texas. It is hot. It is getting hotter with each and every year. And so putting holes in the bottom of your pot, what I find is when I'm watering, if that soil is, I can't think of the name of it right now, y'all, because again, I'm tired. But follow along. Look this information up for yourself. When your soil is so dry, it's not allowing water to penetrate. And so you'll find that the water will just flow right through the bottom of those holes. If you can see the holes, the water just flows right out, and your soil is as hard as a rock. A lot of time, a lot of times it happens when your plant has outgrown the space it's in, and the roots have taken up all the available soil mass, and you need to up pot it. A lot of times that's what happens. Other times it's the soil itself may not be very good. It doesn't have any nutrients. It just wasn't a good soil mixture when you put it in, and so it's just hard. No matter what you do, it's hard. Your plants are like they're suffering. So what I began to do is I began to put holes about an inch up from the bottom, maybe 2 inches up from the bottom of my container. That way, in the area that I live in, if I can't get out or if I don't get out, because sometimes, y'all, I'm just tired. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm tired. I work a full-time job outside of the home. Coming out here in my garden is helpful to my mind, and I hope you guys have a place that's helpful to your mind as well. But back to the pots. See, I didn't forget. Y'all probably thought I was going off on a tangent. No, 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 I did not. When it's hot, you got to make sure that your plants are being adequately watered. And I'll remember the name of that word when your soil can't absorb any more water. Yell it out, y'all. Put it in the description box. Y'all know what it is. So I'm just sitting here rocking and sipping and enjoying my peace because it's been a long week. I took several days off this week. I had to. So I've been out here working and watering. And I have skinks in the garden. I don't know how many I have in here now. Two of them have been terrorizing me. They were over here behind my green stalks. And when I came out, they scurried along behind my gliding bench over to behind the cannas. And as I was over in the memorial garden, weeding and watering, a huge skink ran up along the side of the house, came over here by the cannas. Y'all, they're doing the most. And I'm happy to see them because skinks, they're lizards. If you don't know what a skink is, please Google them. They're not harmful to you. They can be a little unalarm. They can, y'all, my brain, I'm sorry. They can be alarming when you're not expecting this big lizard to come flying out. And so, yeah, they're in the garden and they're eating the insects, which I'm happy to see. I was spraying down my collard greens early this morning, and for whatever reason, white flies. Y'all, is that a bee? Have y'all seen bees this year? I have not seen very many bees. Not as many as what I suspect should be out here. Mm-mm. I was watering the front garden. My mind is wandering, y'all. So go with me. Go with me. I was watering the front garden this morning. That sprinkler system and that irrigation is working perfectly. I just turned it on and gone by my business. And I noticed up there at the white datura plant, the devil's trumpet, there were bees all over it. Not a lot, but enough to be noticeable. And that's when I thought, where are the bees? There should be more bees. And what I'm seeing right now that I'm swatting are mosquitoes. I've seen a couple of wasps. Can y'all hear that? I think that's a bee. I've seen flies. Not as many flies as I have in the past, but I have seen flies. But I have skinks at y'all. So the skinks are eating the insects, and I'm happy to see that. But I do still have some flies. I still have not seen my praying mantis. I did call the company about that. So I'm hoping that they're there and I just don't see them because they're little, but I don't see them. And I got the egg casings the first week of May, and we are in June. I think today's the 21st. I think 20th or 21st. 21st, I think. And I haven't seen any praying mantis. So I'm going to call them again. They said it takes about, I think they said the paperwork said about 12 weeks. I don't know, but I haven't seen them. So I haven't been able to show you all. But I'm noticing white flies on my collard greens. I've seen a couple of wasps. I just saw two dragonflies because I hadn't been seeing dragonflies either. Um, so, yeah, the insects, I don't know where they are. So, that's the question for today. Oh, and it looks like maybe a bee has found my bee hotel. Oh, it did. It went inside the bee hotel, y'all. I put a bee hotel up there on the fence, and I just saw a bee go in there. So that must be a solitary bee. How exciting! I'm excited, y'all. Can y'all tell that I enjoy sitting in my garden and seeing the things that I see? Okay, I know y'all are probably tired of sitting here listening, so let's go for a walk. I'm still gonna sip, and if y'all are wondering what I'm sipping on, I don't know. I'm not trying to sell anything, y'all, but I'm an avid drinker of coffee. And then we gonna walk in a minute. Just hold on. Come with me. I don't drink coffee all the time. There are times I will not drink coffee at all. I gave up coffee all last year. And then I said, you know what, January 1st, I think I want coffee again. I drink it because I like the taste of it, not because I'm addicted to it. My grandmother, one of my grandmothers, when I don't know how old I was a little kid, she drank coffee. And so I was introduced to coffee by my grandmother. She would give me a little miniature cup, and I'd sit there with my grandmother, have my little coffee sip when she had her little coffee sip. And so, oop, I kicked the camera, sorry y'all. And so I have been drinking for several years now. I can't remember how many years, but I have Sage Marie's coffee and tea. That's what I'm drinking. That's a coffee company. She's on Instagram. You can go to her Instagram page, follow her, and order her coffees and teas online. Today, actually, for the past probably month or so, maybe actually month and a half, I've been drinking her. What is it called? It is called. It's a green tea coffee. I think it's called green tea coffee. And I had it in the freezer for a while because I was drinking my Ethiopian, and I said, let me try a different, because I bought a few different flavors. I said, because I love my Ethiopian one. I said, let me try this green tea one and see how it tastes. Because I wanted to get some little green tea in. Y'all, it tastes like a hazelnut, and I'm enjoying it. So I made me a coffee cup. Don't know if y'all can see it. Love it. And I've been drinking my Sage Marie. So y'all, if you like coffee, and if you haven't tried Sage Marie, give Sage Marie a try. I really enjoy her coffee. I really do. So now that y'all are tired of sitting here listening to me ramble, good rambles though, good rambles. Let's do just a little walkabout in the garden, and then we're gonna wrap this up. All right, everybody, let's do a little walkabout. That is my collard green pot. All I did was water everything that you see out here right now. I'm not gonna walk y'all through all of it, but I watered the entire garden. But I'll show you what I put in. I went to the nursery. I've been trying to get mullein to grow from seed, and I haven't been successful with it. So I bought a mullein plant. I don't think it likes right here. I'm going to have to do some reading. I think it prefers maybe a bit of more shade. And so I've actually moved it back out here. But I need to figure out if it likes living in the full sun, because this area over here gets full sun. And so that's my mullein that I put in. You all went with me to the nursery, and that little plant right there is one of my grandmother's favorites. So I put it down in there. I've got a couple, one there, one there, one there. I also put some over here and right over there. And I have some in the memorial garden as well. Now, over here, of course, watered everything. Let me get my shadow out the way. I put some turmeric in the ground last fall, and as you all can see, it is coming up, and I'm in love with it. I put maybe one or two rhizomes, and look, y'all, look how many plants is coming up. I've got like 4 little plants right there coming up, so I'm excited to see it. Over here, I cut down my disappointment in my Barbados cherry, but what I found was this. I found that when I was getting ready to pull it out, I found that there was some babies growing right up against the stem. So I left the stem. I believe it's still alive, so I'm going to leave that in there and see what comes up. But my girlfriend was at the nursery, and she bought me this one, and I put it in there. And I've been pulling beans out of the pathway, and I believe that this is a lady cream pea because of where I pulled it from. And look at that beautiful purple flower. Can y'all see how beautiful that is? If you all are not growing lady cream peas, you should. This plant is prolific. It just puts on so much food. So I've been pulling the baby seedlings out of the ground and just plopping them in the orchard area in different pots. Now my seat is out here because I need to air layer some little bits and pieces off of the tree. Like this one here, I need to air layer this whole branch off. So I've got my seat down there, and I might do that today because I've got some shade over here, and I think I might have a little bit of um, energy to be able to do that. We'll see, because I had to go get some soil And now I have enough soil to be able to air layer. Okay. So since I cut down my old Barbados cherry top, you all can see that right there. This is the container my girlfriend gave me, the one who has the farm. I cleaned it out and drilled a hole in it. And so I'm getting ready to start a hugelkultur method in the bottom of that. And I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm going to put this in the garden and start growing something. I don't know what, but maybe I'll put it in the circular garden. I don't know. We'll see. But this is a circular garden. I created this last fall, and look how lush it is. I hope you all can see. It is, the sun is just doing what the sun does, and it is beautiful and bright. So I don't know if you all can see what's going on, but I told y'all in my last video that there was a mishap with the uh, what's that down there, y'all? My brain just went boop. Lemongrass. There you go. There was a mishap with the lemongrass. Can you all see all that water? That's rain. I need to dump that out. It was first knocked over by something that's been in the garden roaming around, and then it's alive because it's still green. So I need to take care of that right now. But the rain has filled that bucket all the way up, and it is causing this sage to grow like crazy. I thought this was clary sage, but when I went to the nursery with my girlfriend, they named it something else. I'll have to go back and see what they called it, but my packet said clary sage. The sun has been eating my plants. I need to come and harvest my flower heads, my seed heads, but the sun has just been beaming down and eating my plants. They look horrible over here. But that right there growing up the trellis, that is that Bini Korima watermelon that the seeds dropped last year when it was growing over here, and it has begun to grow. It is wild, y'all. They are baby watermelon. Can y'all see that? There are watermelon everywhere, and I'm trying to keep it wrangled. You all can see there flowers everywhere, but there are watermelon all over this. I'll show you guys on the other side because they actually hide in all the greenery. So you can miss the watermelon if you're not really careful and looking because they're in there. I showed you one. Let's go around the other side. Okay, we're on the other side. Can you all see that? Baby watermelon right here. There's another one. If I pick this up, there's another one. Can you all see that? Baby watermelon right there. And up here, I've got, can you all see that? Two baby watermelons right there. And it's weird because these are elongated. And the Bini Korimas are not an elongated watermelon. So now I'm thinking that this might be something other than a Bini Korima. Now the one on the other side is definitely a Bini Korima because it is, or maybe not. I don't know, but we'll see. And there's babies everywhere. There's a little one right here. The Bini Korima is a small round watermelon, and to me, this is slightly elongated, and that is not how a Bini Korima is supposed to look. We'll see. We'll see what's going on here, y'all. But this watermelon, let me show you all what I mean. Oh, see how round this baby watermelon is? It's not elongated. And there's been a rat up under here. There's rat poison eating right there. At least it didn't eat the watermelon, y'all. But that's how the Bini Korima are. They're round. And so I'm concerned that that's not a Bini Korima. I'm not upset about it, but I'm concerned about it because if it's a large watermelon, it's not going to do well over here growing up this trellis. It's going all the way up. But it is just, it's spilling out all over the ground. But I've been watering everything over in my work area, and I'm working on some coconut coir. I am expanding it. I bought a brick yesterday, so I'm trying to get that to expand so that I can put together the containers. This is the other container that my girlfriend gave me, and I'm trying to clean it out. It's actually doing well because it only has a little bit of stuff still sitting in there that I need to get out. Her cows were it's some kind of cowlick, something or other. I think it's a vitamin for the cows that comes in these buckets. So I'm just trying to get that cleaned out. Um, I watered the cut flower garden. I'm not taking y'all down there because it is beginning to grow, and the lemon trees have thorns, and every time I come down, that lemon tree grab a hold of me like, hey girl, hey, and poke me. So I'm not going down there, but y'all can see how beautiful the cut flower garden is. So I was down there, I turned on the irrigation on this side is working perfectly, so I just turn it on and let it water. I've been in the cattle panel. I didn't put a hole in the crate that my girlfriend gave me, so it was collecting water every time these pots overflow because of the bucket. You see, that's the hole I was talking to you guys about. I put a hole in my pots, my buckets, right about there in all of them. That way there's a reservoir of water so that my containers can drink up water on its own when it needs it. So I ended up just taking this and turning it upside down today. That's one of the projects I did. And I just set the pots on top of it for right now. I did plant some stuff in here. I planted some, what is that? I don't know. I can't read my own handwriting. Oriental rape. I don't know what it is. My sister gave me that. It didn't come up, so I don't know. See, I may have to start again. I didn't have anything in that pot. Um, I was over here watering like I did everything else, checking to see if any of my peppers that I planted out 3 and 4 times, and they have not germinated. I'm really disappointed in my peppers this year. I have 4 over there. The buckets are empty. Nothing has come up. Over here, I've got 5 over here that nothing has come up. And I have resowed seeds numerous times, and I'm very disappointed in my peppers this year. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to sow more seeds and try to do a better job of protecting them in the winter time because, oh, wait a minute, hold up. This looks like oh, that's okay. I thought this was a jalapeno. This is variegated. So this right here, hope you guys can see. This is a fish pepper. I can tell by how it looks. This is a fish pepper. This is not a jalapeno. This one. I didn't take that out and put it in the fish pepper pot. Because I can tell by that beautiful variegated leaf that that is a fish pepper. So there's a possibility that all of those are fish peppers and not jalapenos. I gave some to my sister thinking they were jalapenos. So I'm going to have to dig that out and transplant it. Since it's kind of cool, now is a good time to do that. So I was just out here watering these, and oh, this baby has fallen over. Get in there, get in there, don't break. That's a carnival pepper. My horseradish and my, oh, what else did I put in here, y'all? I can't remember. I cannot remember what else I put in here. Where does it? Oh, burdock root is doing fairly well. It was getting attacked, but so far doesn't appear to still be getting attacked. But this is what I wanted to show y'all. The loofah. They are growing on the inside as well as the outside, and they are putting on some weight. You can eat the babies. They are in the cucumber family. So everywhere you see a flower, oh, it's got ants. Ugh. Everywhere you see a flower, there's a likely possibility of there being loofah to grow. So be mindful of that, everybody. Be mindful if you're going to grow loofah that you could end up with a ton. And I'm excited because I use them for bathing. I use them in the kitchen for scrubbing. And then over here, this is where I put the bitter melon. The bitter melon was growing on the same side as the loofah last year, but I put it over this side for my sister-in-law. And as you can see, it is putting out fruit. And I've been harvesting it and putting it in the freezer so I can take her a big bag and drop off some stuff to her. 'Cause I'm not eating it this year. I have a ton in the freezer for myself, but I don't need to eat any of this. So all of the bitter melon is going to go to my sister-in-law. And for some reason, that one didn't get fertilized and it died. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to throw it in the pot. The corn did not do the best. I got one ear off of it and I pulled that one out. I've got one ear on there that I'm saving for seed. Can you all see that? I'm saving that for seed. That one in the back there hasn't put on any corn. So I put 4 in there just to see if I could grow it in the pot. And I only got one off. So there's that. So I watered that. And this one I can take out as well because it's not doing anything. It don't appear that these two back here are going to do anything. So I'm going to take those out. And sorry about that, y'all. I will get them in the compost. But I took care of that today. The sweet potatoes are in the same pot they were in last year, so they are definitely going to be hitting the ground and growing in the ground and growing like mad all over this trellis. So I'm excited about that because my sweet potato harvest last year was amazing. And I realized earlier, oh, I got a bitter melon in there. I want to keep an eye on that because I got to get those for my sister-in-law. I realized that there is a bean growing in this container. There's a long bean. I found it today. Y'all see that? That is a long bean. And so I am actually going to take it off and plant the beans again in this container and let it grow. I did not realize that was a long bean that I put in there, but it is. So I was over here taking care of this pot. I don't have any cucumbers coming up. I think it might be too hot. It did have flowers and now it doesn't have any flowers. I did plant more cucumber seeds because I do want more cucumbers, but so far nothing. But this is the bitter melon, and as you can see, it is growing up and meeting the loofah up there. So that's what I did today. I watered over here, manicured over here, and I've been looking around, and I did not see that until just now. See, the food will hide, and I need to harvest that and put it in the freezer for my sister-in-law. That way it doesn't go bad on the plant. See if there's any more in there. I don't see any more in there. But yes, bitter melons. I was over here taking care of that, watering and double checking what's going on over here. And last night, all I did was just put pavers down, soil down. I didn't put any more chicken wire. I need to take care of that, but I'm going to keep an eye on this and see what's going on over here. And then I watered everything over here, y'all. So this is not a tour. We're just going over what I've done. I realized that my turmeric in the back is growing. Let me take y'all back there. And I need to take let's see. I need to take this off because it looks like it might need to come out of there. Yeah. So I took the basket off of that one. Hopefully it's not going to upset me by something eating it. That one didn't come up. That one's still little and it is trying to grow through the basket. Oh, I just sheared it off. Oh, good Lord. Can't take me nowhere. Okay. I was trying to pull it out of there and destroy that little leaf. This one is looking like it needs to come out of there as well because it's being bent down, and I'm hoping that taking the tops off is not going to cause any issue with anything coming over here like the rats and eating it. They're not eating the one in the front, but they did eat the one over there last year. So it came back again, nothing here. I have some in the house and I'm going to see if they can be planted back here because I do want a row of turmeric. And the ginger back there, I watered that. Let me show y'all. Here we go. The ginger, been watering that. It is growing, looking good, putting on new shoots. And so just keeping an eye on that. I put in this new pot right here and it is starting to perk up. The garlic chives are perking up. I have more garlic chives I need to put in a different pot. The soil that I bought that you all saw, I need to put in this pot as well as, that bucket and then that bucket over there. I need to get those two ready for soil so that I can plant in here. So I need to work on that. I also have one right here that I need to put soil in, and I transplanted some garlic chives over here. They're laying down, but I did I did transplant some garlic chives over here. And this is what I mean by the lady cream peas are popping up. I need to take that out the ground and put that in a pot. But I've got lady cream peas that have been popping up in the aisles over here. And I've been planting them in the containers over here. I was also out here pulling up weeds that are coming from up under the fence. I still have more to pull. As you can see, I have had a rat over here eating, so it won't last long. But yeah, I've been over here pulling up weeds and laying down cardboard. I got to get some more wood chip and finish covering up, but I've been trying to keep the weeds from growing over here. That is a battle that I deal with constantly all the time. As long as the weeds are growing, I'm battling over here. I pulled up the weeds over here and laid down cardboard. That's something that I've been doing. I also tamped in. I need to refix this one because it came loose. But I tamped in 4 T-posts, and I put these T-posts. I don't know if they're called, but I put these on there. I need to readjust it and tighten it up so that I can keep my shade cloth a little bit above the plants, because what I found is that if it's touching the plants and I have to keep moving it with my hands, it's too much trouble for me to keep pulling it up, putting it down, pulling it up, putting it down. And so this way they're getting breeze, they're getting wind, they're getting shade, and I don't have to struggle so much trying to get up under it. So I tamped in T-posts. That's why I say, y'all, I'm tired. I'm not going to do too much more today. Um, but yeah, let me show y'all. I did this one over here as well. That T-post I put in this T-post right here, and one down this way. And then we're going to sit down, we're going to sip, and we're going to chat a little bit more. We're going to close this video up because that's all I've really been doing today. I need to readjust. Oh, that one's on there. But I put that T-post in, and I'm putting the shade cloth up. The other thing I did, and I still need to get that grape. Oh, I need to get that grape tied up on that those T-post trellises back there. The other thing I did, y'all, and then we're gonna sip and chat, is I put that pole that I had my handyman sink in cement. I put that pole right there in the center because it was sitting right here in the front and it kept falling into the fence, and I didn't want it to knock the fence down. It broke my bucket. I need to replace that bucket. I'm really angry about that. My fault. I probably should have thought about moving it in the center anyway, but I didn't. So now I've got to replace that bucket. And one last thing, I bought those red poles you see, and I put that um, netting or fencing around both of my asparaguses. And so that's what I've been doing in the garden today, y'all. And I'm tired. So let's go sit and let's sip and chat. And before we sip, I also started some sun tea. That is hibiscus, and it is red raspberry. All right, the hummingbird is back, and I startled it again as I was moving to come and sit down. Hope y'all heard me. I'm sorry. I had something try to fly into my eye. So that's what I've been doing today. The little projects you all have seen, putting up the T-posts, moving the poles to prop up the shade cloth in the back, the watering, creating 2 new containers. Yeah, lots and lots. And my coffee's still hot. The blessings of life. So that's all I'm getting into today, you all. I was thinking about sitting over there and air layering that plum tree. Is that a plum or a nectarine? It's a plum, methyl plum. I need to air layer that. I need to air layer my peach, but my peach is in full sun. So I think what I'm going to do quickly is air layer that plum and at least start the process, because I did pick up soil so I can air layer that. Ooh, y'all, there's always a lot to do in the garden, but it feels really good when it's done, and it feels good when you can actually reap your harvest. And I will admit, there are some things that I didn't harvest in time. No reason, no rhyme to it, other than I'm the kind of person that, and I got to get out of this. I like looking at the prettiness. I like looking at my food. And if you're like me, you got to not be like me. I like to see it growing. I like to see the fullness of it. And before you know it, it begins to go over. And that is not what we are gardening for. That is not why I'm gardening. And I know this. And I did that with my onions. I did that with my garlic. Um, my garlic I lost sight of because it was growing over there in several different places. And for whatever reason, I missed my cue. You know, the garlic and onions give you a cue. The tops will fall over on onions. Your tops will turn a rusty brown on your garlic. Those are your cues. And I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. I guess I was just thinking, I've got to put this in. I've got to manicure that. I got to sow seeds. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I need to stop and remember that if you put it in, it has a time to be in, then it has a time to come out. So that is my word of wisdom to you. If you sow a seed, if you buy a plant, you put it in, there's a time for it to be in the garden and grow and produce. There goes those freaking skinks. There's two of them right there. Oh, that's a male. Is that a male? Oh, I don't know. There's two of them. They're like buddied up. Let me see where they're going. They are running towards, I should probably show y'all, but y'all might not be able to see. They're green. They're running down in front of the shed. I don't know where they're going. They're going to the back of the garden. Skinks, I tell you. They're everywhere here. They are everywhere here. As long as they're eating the bugs, I'm happy to see them. I really am. Just as long as they're not a snake. If it's a snake, then we got problems. I did see one snake one night crawling across, going towards my neighbor's house. It looked like it was a gardener snake, so I didn't come out with my shovel to handle up on it. But yeah, skinks. Gotta love them. But no, I don't know what I was saying, y'all. I'm getting distracted. Today's that kind of a day where I feel distracted because y'all saw all the stuff that I was getting into today, this morning, and the time that I was out here from 6 to 9 doing the work. And so, yeah, tired. So thank you for joining me in the garden, everybody. I know I've been a little chaotic the past couple of videos. It's summer. It's hot. I'm trying to enjoy the garden. I'm trying to look at the beautiful flowers. I actually need to go and cut back a lot of the spent flower heads, especially my cosmos. I need to save those seeds. So much to do. But all I really want to do is just sit here and drink my coffee while I watch this butterfly on my zinnias. So until the next video, you all, I hope you all have a great day, great night. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you're happy. I hope you're well. I hope you have everything you need. And I hope that you have started your garden. I've been asking this lady at work, have you started your garden yet? And every time I ask her, she says no. Two people. One day, they're going to start their gardens. It's important. Start growing something. I know it's a lot of work, but it's important work. And there are things that need to get done. And gardening is one of the things that needs to get done so that you can live a happy, healthy, and prosperous life. Good for your mind, good for your soul, good for your body. So until I see you all again, either in my food forest, in my front garden, or maybe in my kitchen, because y'all, I got a bunch of stuff that need to be canned. My canner is on the stove right now. I've got jars waiting on the counter for me. There's always something I'm doing. So until I see you again, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye for now.